Good evening class. In this video we will study the microbes in human welfare. Okay, in this chapter we have to read and we have to study thoroughly the uses of microbes and where microbes are generally used. So it's starting from the first. Generally we have to discuss the what is the meaning of microbes. Okay, so the microbes are those organisms which can be seen only through microscopic. Okay, so microorganisms are very small in nature and they are generally divided into such type of groups like virus, bacteria, microbes and many more things. Okay, but here we are studying only microbes. So microbes are generally very small types of organisms which cannot be seen with the naked eyes, and we have to use the proper electron microscope to see the microbes. Okay, because they are very minute and very simple structured organism. Okay, they are very small in nature and their bodies are generally very simple structured. Okay, apart from that, coming to the next important point, the microbes are generally ubiquitous organism. Ubiquitous means they are generally related to omnipresent, which can be found in anywhere. I have written here they are found in all types of environment. Okay, they don't need any special type of environment which may develop and also regulate their metabolic activity in all the types of environment. The environments may be soil, water, air, inside of our body, humans, plants and animals also. The microbes can easily be found. Okay, so microbes has most special characteristics feature, and that is ubiquitous. Ubiquitous means omnipresent, which can be found in anywhere. Okay, so that is the most personality stage of microbes. Apart from that, we have to discuss the exact role of microbes in our daily life use, because we generally use different types of substance in our daily life, and there is also many more things are generally prepared by the use of microbes. So first here, what is the importance and what is the microbes generally used in human welfare? The first one is that microbes are generally used for the production of curd. As we know that lactobacillus and lactic acid bacteria are generally used to convert milk into the curd. Okay, so here this is also done by the using of microbes. Second thing is the yogurt. Yogurt is also fermenting with generally by 45 degree Celsius. Okay, and after that they used Streptococcus thermophilus for converting into the yogurt. Apart from that, now it is also used in the preparation of butter and cheese and many more things also. Okay, now coming to the most important point, the production of cheese is generally done in a large scale in all over the world. But most important thing, how the cheese can be produced by using the microbes. Generally, cheese are generally produced and the piece of curd are treated with protease and lipase. Okay, two important types of enzymes are there. प्रोटीएज एंड लाइपेज आर आइदर बोथ ऑफ देम, या तो प्रोटीएज या फिर लाइपेज से या फिर दोनों का यूज करके जनरली दे आर ट्रीटेड ऑफ कर्ड, एंड आफ्टर दैट पेनिसिलिन रोकफोर्टी कैन आल्सो बी डन देयर इंपॉर्टेंस रोल फॉर द preparation of cheese. Okay, apart from that, there is a special and beneficial step how the cheese can be prepared. First, when a curd is wrapped in a cloth, okay, when a curd is wrapped in a cloth and it becomes cheese, okay, and pressed, before we have to press and it becomes cheese, the hydrolysis of protein and fat by fungi or an enzyme gives cheese a flavor. And most important point, there is takes some time for formation of cheese, but most important, the hydrolysis of protein, it means that proteins gets in a hydrolysis stage. After that, fat by fungi or enzymes gives a cheese a flavor. Flavor means it is a nice flavor which is given by such type of enzymes. Apart from that, so many times in NCERT there is a question arises that what is the meaning of Swiss cheese and how they appears as a big holes. Generally, the large holes in a Swiss cheese are generally done by the production of CO2 by bacterium named Propionibacteria ceremani. Okay, this is the special type of bacteria which are generally create CO2, means carbon dioxide, in a cheese, and which makes the whole size, and the Swiss cheese appears as a very big in nature. So that is the reason that the bacterium name Propionibacterium cerevisiae is a special type of bacteria which creates CO2 production in a large amount, and that's why the holes are become as a large in manner. And there is also rock 40 cheese is also there, which is generally prepared by the penicillin rock 40. Most important point you have to focus that in your book there is a rock 40 cheese, and which is generally produced by the rock 40 penicillium. Okay, so this is all about the production of milk. Apart from that, microbes are generally used for the productions of dosa, idli, upma, jalebis, and many more things like generally we eat in our daily life. So here microbes are generally used in the daily life process, and also they are used in a large scale and small scale industry. We will also discuss in this class also. Apart from that, we have discussed the productions of curd, production of yogurt, productions of butter, cheese, and there is a special type of cheese are there which is given in your book. So you have to follow all the points very carefully. So here we have to discuss that how the microbes are generally used in the productions of different types of beverages. It may be industrial, and so many beverages are there, and generally these all are the beverages which are generally produced by the use of microbe. So we know that microbes are generally used for the productions of certain types of wines, whiskey, and so many things in the productions of certain things. So one by one we have to discuss how the microbes are generally used इन इंडस्ट्रियल प्रोडक्ट्स. ओके, माइक्रोब्स का जो यूज है वो इंडस्ट्रियल प्रोडक्ट्स में बहुत ज्यादा होता है. जनरली माइक्रोब्स आर जनरली यूज फॉर द प्रिपरेशन ऑफ अल्कोहलिक, okay, alcoholic beverages, and we know that the meaning of alcohol. Okay, so here first important topic is that these are the microbes are generally used for the productions of different types of two items, and which may be undistilled beverage, and second is distilled beverages. Okay, so what is the meaning of undistilled beverages? These are the beverages generally they are called as soft liquors. Soft liquors मतलब they are generally carried a very little amount of alcohol percentage are called soft liquors, and distilled beverages means they are very hard liquors, and liquors means it is also named as wine. Okay, liquors is also a word which is related to wine, so don't confuse that. Hard liquors, distilled beverages is a hard liquors, and they contain more than 20% of alcohols. Okay, so distilled is also a very effective, and undistilled is also very effective, but comparison than distilled they are more effective than undistilled beverages. Okay, because they contain more than 20% of alcohol, and they contain very less amount of alcohol, maybe 20%. Okay, so apart from that we are going to discuss that undistilled beverage may be beer and may be wine. Okay, beer and wine, and second distilled beverages may be whiskey, may be wine, may be rum, or again is a special type of liquor which are generally used in the foreign countries. Okay, so here we are going to discuss how the different types of wines and preparations are generally done. So first of all, undistilled beers are generally done by, we are studying only the beer which is generally comes in the class of undistilled beverages. So we will take a first step how the beer can be produced. Okay, the first important point is that the barley seed melted first with the using of Saccharomyces cerevisiae and Cal's virginesis. Okay, these two types of important things which are generally convert barley by the use of malted. It means they are crushing the barley seeds in a very smooth manner, and they make a powdery substance. After that they use two types of substance to convert them into the beneficial part for the preparation of beer. Apart from that, there is also a commercial products of beer. Generally we know that the commercial products of beer are generally how the beer can be obtained. Generally beer is generally obtained by the first process malting. We have seen in this the rice and barley seeds are generally submerged. It means that they both are generally get mixed with each others and in water and get germinated at 70 degrees Celsius. It means that they generally left for the germinations and about 70 degrees Celsius, and apart from that result as amylase enzymes are generally produced when they are in a submerged medium, and they are germinated by approx 70 degrees Celsius. Okay, apart from that we are generally study second process is mashing. Mashing means the hot water is generally added in the submerged part of rice and barley. By this their coagulations will be completely done, and all the rice and all the barley seeds are generally mixed equally and they are generally dissolved. Okay, so apart from that, that's why we have to use hot water in this process. Okay, now next we are going to discuss that after that fermenting process is done. What is the meaning of fermenting? We know that beer rot is also obtained by the fermenting process and inoculated with Saccharomyces cerevisiae, because we have used here Saccharomyces cerevisiae. By this is fermented with 5 to 10 days. Okay, beer is generally fermented as 5 to 10 days at a normal temperature of 5 to 14 degrees Celsius. After that, our beer will be totally going to prepare. Okay, now second, when these all the processes are generally done, the fourth one process is generally maturing, and it is done when the fermented process are generally we obtained by the use of several types of microbes. We generally kept the beer process in 0 degrees Celsius of refrigerators for 6 to 8 months. Okay, for 6 to 8 months we generally place 0 degrees Celsius in refrigerators. By this they gets a proper and very odorous fragrance come in the beer cases. After that we go to the final stage, and that is called finishing. Okay, after the productions of beer we go to the final stage, and that is called finishing. In finishing, what we have done, we have done the filter and filled in the bottles, and then it is gets pasteurized at 60 डिग्री सेल्सियस फॉर 20 मिनट्स. करीबन 20 मिनट तक इनको 60 डिग्री सेल्सियस के हिसाब से इनको पैस्चुराइज किया जाता है. बाय दिस नो वन माइक्रोब्स कैन हार्मफुल फॉर दैट बियर, ताकि कोई भी वायरस या कोई भी माइक्रोब्स जो है इनको नुकसान ना पहुंचा पाए. ओके, सो दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोसेस. एंड वी हैव आल्सो डन द वाइन, एंड जनरली अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट वाइन इज आल्सो गेट्स process by using fermenting, maturing, finishing and tanking. So many points is also there in your book, and it is mostly related to same things. Okay, so you have to study preparation of wine because it is given in your book. Now next we are going to discuss the distilled beverages. Okay, what is the meaning of distilled beverages? Here we have studied, and there the brandy, their whiskey is also comes in the class of distilled beverages because they are generally obtained by the productions of microbes. And firstly, brandy is generally obtained by grapes, khumani, peach and cherry, and we are generally obtained, and there is a generally 40 to 50% of alcohols are generally mixed in brandy. Second, whiskey is also a distilled fermented of grape mass are malted. Generally they are obtained by the maximum part of grapes. Okay, and we know that what is the meaning of grape. Okay, so apart from this, malted or a starch solution is also there. An example, barley, oat, starch, okay, millets and rice. These all are the beverages which are generally used to fermenting of whiskey, and they are generally found to whiskey in our markets. Okay, next process, and they consist 50% of alcohol of whiskey. Okay, so this is all about the productions of microbes. In next part we have to discuss that how the microbes are generally used in the different types of also production of certain things and biogas, and we have to also study microbes are generally used in the sewage treatment. Okay, so apart from that, two topics is remaining by the productions of microbes, and now the topic is that third is rum and fourth is gin. Okay, now the rum, how we can obtain generally rum? So rum is generally obtained by the distillations of fermented sugarcane juices are generally takes place as the productions of rum. Okay, and in this only 40% of alcohols are generally present, and most important, Saccharomyces cerevisiae are important things are generally present which generally prepare the rum, and it is also used to prepare different types of items like ice creams, candles and medicines also. Okay, so these are the very economic importance for our daily lives. Now coming to the next important part, gin. It is also a special type of alcohol. In this, it is obtained by the distillations of fermented barley or rye, by which we obtain such type of alcohol. Okay, so apart from that, generally we know that microbes are generally found in so many times and so many where. So depending upon the productions of generally microbes, it is found in also a vinegar industry to productions of different types of vinegars, and also it is used in the productions of enzyme industry for production of different types of enzymes, and enzymes may be protease, glucomylase and amylase, and we are generally familiar with protease and amylase enzymes also, because we have to done so many practicals in 12th class and 11th class also. So apart from that, microbes are also used to preparation of certain types of antibiotic medicines. As we know that bacteria, fungi, virus and many more organisms are there which can generally harmful for the living beings, but we should not forget about that the antibiotics medicines are generally obtained from the fungi, from the bacteria, okay, and microbes also. Okay, so three basic important organisms are there which can generally form several types of antibiotic medicines which are generally given to in healthy persons to cure their diseases. Okay, anti means against and bios means life. Those diseases which are generally harmful for the human beings, that time we use antibiotic medicines to kill several types of pathogens and virus and bacteria also. Okay, so apart from that, now we are going to discuss that microbes are generally used in the sewage treatment procedure. Sewage treatment, firstly, what do we know about the sewage treatment? Sewage means it is a very harmful, unpolluted, and mostly we have to see in different types of systematic things when there is a contaminated and not a very small manner of pollution. If there is a large manner of pollutions, we can say that if there is a large manner of pollution, it means the highly disposal of garbage material into the river, into the many more river path, by which our water get contaminated and formed a sludge particles, and that is called the sewage. And sewage are a very dangerous things because it is a generally solid comparison than water form, because they have lots of debris and many more things, okay, and which makes them solid. And generally when we have seen in a soil erosion, that time different types of sewage are generally come from the land part and they froze in our environment, so that is a very harmful. Okay, so it is most harmful for the human beings because there is a so much polluted things are generally mixed in the water river or a sewage path, like polythene, like many more hard material, soft material also in our household materials are generally mixed with the water, they becomes as a sewage. That time several types of microbes are generally used to separate and sediment the different types of organs to clear the water as a purified manner. Okay, so that is the most important form, and it is also a polluted. Okay, so forget about the unpolluted things. So for polluted things means there is a pollution and contaminated things are generally mixed with the water, it becomes sewage, and sewage is a mostly solid form when flows with the waters. Okay, now coming to the next part, how the treatment can be done by using microbes. So microbes are generally used for doing the treatment, and treatment is generally done by three steps. First, primary treatment, secondary treatment and tertiary treatment. Okay, so what we have done in primary treatment, generally the different types of sludge are generally transported by the help of pipes, and it is treated untreated sewage. Generally we have to separate the untreated sewage through the pipe and it is sent to the open big tanks. Generally हम क्या करते हैं, किसी भी big tank से उस पूरे सीवेज को हम लोग इसके अंदर लोड करके जब अंदर डालते हैं, तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है, टैंक बना होता है, उस टैंक में जाने के बाद ये ओपन बिग टैंक होता है जहाँ पे पूरा का पूरा सीवेज जो है यहाँ पे स्टोर हो जाता है. आफ्टर दैट थ्री most important, their separation is takes place, filtrations and sedimentation takes place. Generally we have to use by filtration process. यहाँ पे हम filtration करके जितने भी जनरली जो वाटर सब्सटेंस होते हैं वो नीचे चले जाते हैं, एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट जो थोड़ा हार्ड होते हैं, जो सॉलिड फॉर्म में होते हैं, जनरली दे होल्ड इन द फिल्टर. ओके, फिल्टर के पास ही वो रह जाते हैं. सो दैट इज द फर्स्ट प्रोसेस डन इन प्राइमरी ट्रीटमेंट. प्राइमरी ट्रीटमेंट व्हाट वी हैव डन जनरली, द फर्स्ट इज वी हैव टू पुट द सीवेज इनटू द एनी होलो पाइप. इन दिस प्रोसेस the sewage is generally transferred from one place to their big tanks by the filter process, and they filter the very hard and solid material upper side of that filter, and the rest amount is generally settled in the bottom of the open tank. Okay, that is the process done in primary treatment. In secondary treatment, what we have done, okay, secondary treatment, next microbes used to digest the microbes that used to digest. In this, there is also microbial substance are there which can easily digest the certain types of bacteria and virus, because sewage also contain dirtful and contaminated water. That means special type of pollution things are generally mixed with the sewage. That time microbes are generally used. That is the importance of microbes. Microbe used to digest the certain bacteria, virus and many more pathogenic activity which are found in the sewage. ये उनको digest करता है, डाइजेस्ट करके उनको खत्म कर लेता है. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट एंड कन्वर्ट द ऑर्गेनिक मैटर इनटू द सॉल्युबल सब्सटेंस. उसके बाद वो ऑर्गेनिक मैटर को खत्म करके कन्वर्ट करता है किसी भी ऑर्गेनिक मैटर को एक सॉल्युबल सब्सटेंस में, जो कि सबसे बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट रोल होता है सेकेंडरी ट्रीटमेंट का. ओके, नाउ अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट वी हैव टू डिस्कस दैट it is also done, and the different types of, most important, they convert the organic matter into soluble substance, and the gaseous mixture of methane is also produced. Okay, and next we will study that biogas. Okay, so apart from that we have to study that tertiary treatment. What is the meaning of tertiary treatment? We have done primary treatment, we have studied secondary treatment. Now what is the meaning of tertiary treatment? After the filtration and after the digestions of any method of secondary treatment, there is a still left over some small amount of sewage in the open tank. That time they again repeat the same cycle to filter the remaining dirt particles. जो बचे कुचे पार्ट होते हैं उनको भी फिल्टर करने के लिए वापस टर्सरी ट्रीटमेंट में यूज किया जाता है, बाय डूइंग फिल्टरिंग, फिल्ट्रेशंस करके या फिर क्लोरिनेशन करके, बाय सीविंग प्रोसेस, बाय विच the our sewage will become totally pure, and then we have to discharge in the river or many more area. तब जाके हम उसे रिवर में या पॉन्ड में या लेक में कहीं पे भी हम उसको डिस्चार्ज कर सकते हैं. By this, after discharging, there is a no effect of any fishes, any planktons, any zooplanktons, any larva, any mosquito. किसी भी प्रकार के किसी भी ऑर्गेनिज्म को कोई नुकसान नहीं पहुंचता है, क्योंकि इसमें जितने भी बचे हुए पार्ट्स होते हैं हम उसको अगेन फिल्टर करते हैं बाय द हेल्प ऑफ क्लोरिनेशन, फिल्ट्रेशन एंड सीविंग प्रोसेस की वजह से, और हम उसको फिल्टर करके वापस हम उसको डिस्चार्ज करते हैं किसी भी वे में. दिस इज द टर्सरी ट्रीटमेंट. हियर यहाँ पे दो चीजें छूट गई मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, फिल्ट्रेशन एंड सेडिमेंटेशन का व्हाट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट यूजेस. यहाँ पे फिल्ट्रेशन और सेडिमेंटेशन का सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट यूज ये है कि फिल्ट्रेशंस में जो भी हम ट्रीटमेंट सीवेज यहाँ से अंदर आता है, फर्स्टली वी हैव टू फिल्टर बाय यूजिंग अ फिल्टर मशीन्स. जो भी फिल्टर मशीन्स होती हैं, फिल्टर्स होते हैं, उससे ये फिल्टर करने के बाद जो भी चीजें नीचे जाती हैं दैट इज फिक्स्ड एंड सेडिमेंट इन द बॉटम प्लेस ऑफ ओपन टैंक. ये ओपन टैंक के पास नीचे जाके फिक्स हो जाते हैं, सेडिमेंट हो जाते हैं. सेडिमेंटेशन मतलब होता है जब कोई पेबल्स किसी भी बॉटल में है तो वो नीचे जाके लोअर पोर्शन पे जब बेस्ड हो जाते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड सेडिमेंटेशन. ओके, सो ये चीज इसमें होता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड सेडिमेंटेशन. सेकेंडरी ट्रीटमेंट एंड टर्सरी ट्रीटमेंट वी हैव सीन. लेफ्ट स्लज अगेन डन प्रोसेस. लेफ्ट स्लज जो बचे हुए रहते हैं उसको हम दोबारा प्रोसेस करते हैं बाय फिल्टरिंग एंड कंप्लीट क्लोरिनेशन एंड सीविंग प्रोसेस की वजह से, और उसको फिर हम डिस्चार्ज कर देते हैं. नेक्स्ट, if we have not done that type of process, which type of effect is generally seen in our environment? Generally we know that there is an increasing day by day the population, and if there is a increasing number of population, it means they are also creating different types of pollutions in our water. That time our water also get contaminated due to the accumulation of different types of solid materials, soft materials, biodegradable and non biodegradable materials. When they are totally mixed with the water, and they causes different types of sewage. Okay, so apart from that, when the untreated sewage is directly flowed into the rivers, ponds etc., अगर हम किसी भी वाटर के सीवेज, जो भी हमारा सीवेज होता है, अगर हम उसे अनट्रीट करके पॉन्ड्स में, रिवर्स में या कहीं पे भी हम उसको फ्लो करते हैं या उसे डिस्चार्ज करते हैं, ड्यू टू विच वाटर बॉर्न डिजीजेस ऑकर, जिस कारण से बहुत सारी बीमारियां निकल कर आएगी बाय द एक्शंस ऑफ सच टाइप ऑफ सीवेज एंड द डिजीजेस में भी. कौन कौन सी बीमारियां हो सकती हैं? Like diarrhea, like dysentery and like typhoid, as we have studied in water pollutions. Okay, जब हमने 16 चैप्टर जब हमने पढ़ा था तो उसमें हमने डायरिया, डायसेंट्री, टाइफॉइड डिजीज के बारे में पढ़ा था कि this is also positive agents of water pollutions when our water will get contaminated by certain types of actions. So sewage is also a contaminated and dirt particle of water. When they mix totally with the water and they contaminate and make some impurities inside them, and they grow totally by the actions of बैक्टीरिया एंड वायरस के कारण और पॉल्यूट होते जाता है, एंड दैट टाइम वी यूज माइक्रोब्स टू filter such types of sewage treatments. Okay, so I think this is enough for today class. In next video we will study some more topic about the microbes and their uses also. Till then, whatever I have taught you, you all have to revise this. Again, I am giving you homework. Write down the preparation of wine and give me in my personal WhatsApp. Okay, write the preparation of wine. Okay, all the preparation are generally given in your book, like mashing, okay, maturing, tanking, बहुत सारे process आपके books में दिए हैं. So you have to write everything and give me in my personal WhatsApp of your answer. Okay, till then, thank you.